welcome back to We're Related. We are?
Weird?
Weird?
Weird
We are related. We're related. On this episode, we have some of the third generation. We started with the original 10, then we had their significant others, and now we have the children. So, starting from right to left, we have my mom, Stacey.
Then
Am I supposed to wave?
why are you looking at me like that?
Well, because she's on my left. So
I'm looking at you like the camera's looking like this, so it's right to left. Anyways.
I was confused.
Anyways.
Then we have Melissa, who is Uncle Dale's. Then we have Juli, who is Aunt Robin's. And Uncle Gary, but Uncle Gary hasn't been on the show yet, so they don't know him. And then we have Cheeks. I don't know her real name, so it's just Cheeks. It's Brianna, but everyone calls her Cheeks, so that's what we're referring to her as. I'd refer to Melissa as her nickname, but we'll probably get demonetized for that. Anywho, so being in this ginormous family, how many cousins do you remember actually growing up with?
26. Isn't it 26?
Oh, God. We already have to do math. Oh, my God. It's not starting good for me.
All of them. All of them.
All of them.
Whatever the
So
number is.
there was never like a group of cousins that didn't really come around that much? Or was all of them like just
When we
all
were
thrown
little, they
in?
were all around.
yeah.
Eventually, some of them kind of branched off. But when we were little, yeah, some of us got a little bit closer.
Yeah.
Older.
So that was you have to bring the mic close to you because it's also directional, so this has to like point backwards. There you go. Perfect. All right. So when you guys were younger, each of you, who were you closest with in the family, around all your cousins and all this? What cousin were you closest with? A group, you could say a group or
Us four, plus Jen and Steph.
so. Adding on to that, what was one of the like memories you're fondest of with that group, if you were to think of one?
Cookies.
One word answers. I gotta love it. You guys are making this so hard.
We would always, for like around holiday time, Aunt Sue would have all of us girls over to have a sleepover and bake cookies, and then right before in the summertime, right before school, we'd go on a shopping trip. Aunt Sue and Aunt Di would take us, and it was always us girls. And yeah, we usually went to Erie, Pennsylvania, got a hotel, got to stay overnight, go shopping all day. So it was the four of us, and usually Jen and Steph were with us, and then sometimes Sarah was with us too.
Whisper into the microphone so we can hear you.
Stacey always made us do a holiday dance.
Nice.
I remember.
I remember
doing a dance
for great grandma.
Yeah.
family. So yeah, she would take us upstairs and whoever's house we were at, and we would spend hours up there learning our dance and perfecting it.
And
then
the family reunion.
Yeah, the family reunion.
Yes.
Holidays
Yeah.
and family reunion.
We got dragged into that
Yeah,
for great grand. We danced at the Christmas party. We danced to Melancholy.
Brought Stacey back for a
Yeah, come back dance teacher.
How many Sundays were we here?
Too many. Don't even bring it up. Don't even bring it up.
We also used to do the line dancing at the fire hall where our parents would go and learn things, and we would just hang out at the fire hall for hours on end while they would line dance, and occasionally we would learn dances too.
So we talked with the in-laws about what it was like coming into such a big family. So what would you say it's like having such a big family, being born into such a big family, having all these cousins and all these relatives to
Everyone
hang
you're
out
stuck
with,
with.
and
So when we were in there talking, and were discussing that question, and right in that moment, I kind of thought that it took really into my adulthood, really meeting my husband, Patrick for the first time to realize that you're not best friends with your cousins.
Yeah.
We grew up and that's who our best friends were. And, Pat didn't really have any siblings or a lot of family, so his best friends were friends, and that was just weird to me because I thought everybody had their cousins.
That's what Aunt Robin was talking about. Was she didn't have any cousins or any other? She just had a brother, so she got thrown into this family with 10 siblings and all this other.
Yeah, I think it was normal for us though. We were
Yeah.
born into it. It was part of
I don't
our-
know how to answer it because I don't know anything different.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
There's just no.
It
I
is
remember
crazy.
this was
It
delicious
is.
with pancake breakfast, and I was like, and this is my cousin, and this is my cousin, and this is my dad, and this is my uncle, and he was
Just
so
overwhelmed.
overwhelmed. And
Yeah. It's just normal.
Honestly.
He's like my uncle. Everybody's just our family. So I just see it as we just have people all the time that are our family.
It was just even being born into the family, some things are just overwhelming. Like some get-togethers where
it
there's a
gets
lot
little
going
out
on.
of control.
There's a lot going on
That's
all the time.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. Yeah.
It's a lot. And there's a lot of different personalities and a lot of, yeah. It's a lot.
So with you guys growing up together, how important was it for you guys for your kids to grow up together? Like you guys grew up with your cousins.
So, I'm the baby of the family, and now Ellie is kind of like the baby. She's
Yeah.
like
Of her
my
generation.
So I make sure that I try extra hard to make sure that she's involved in our family because it's important.
Well, let's say
Yeah.
my kids are more of the older of Ellie's generation, so you still want them all integrated, and they are. Even though there's an age difference, just like you and I,
Right.
have always been very close, and there's a big age gap between us. It's just when we're all together all the time, we're just end up that way. It's just best friends, family, like you said.
And my children's they're immediate cousins, and they're not here. My sister's in Florida, and my brother's in Texas or Kansas. He's not in Texas anymore. He's in Kansas. So they don't get to see their immediate cousins that often, a couple times a year, and that's it. But even in those moments, it's super special. They pick up right where they left off, and their relationship is still super close. And we make sure to make the time that we do something with them at least a couple times a year. Aside from that, the cousins that are still here, they're hanging out all the time.
I think that goes the same for us when Jeff and Jen's kids are around. We always, when they come into town, our kids pick up with Riley and Tyler, and they still all pick up with them, and they're all hanging out at the lake, playing in the water. Right, they're still cousins, even though we
Get
don't
my
see each
hair
other
done.
all the time.
Get my hair done.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it helps with this generation too, though, because they snap each other, whatever, too. But
Snapagram.
it's
Insta chat.
They don't know, Ellie doesn't know who her real cousins are or her
Right.
extended cousins
She just
are.
knows
just
them
calls
as
cousins.
cousins.
Speaking of the devil,
Well, there she is.
here they all are.
Yeah, oh my god. Too many people.
Like for my
Anyways.
kids, they're like, well, why do we call Aunt Juli and Aunt Stacey, but not Uncle Marcus? It's like a weird.
Yeah.
It's just how it all came out. I don't
Mhm.
know. There was
How it
no
all unwound.
intentional.
yeah.
Of. They're equally.
Who really
close
wants
to
to call
everyone.
Marcus
Right, I
It's
think
just
so.
the way.
That's
Yeah.
no one.
That's just Mark ass.
No, it's not. It's not Uncle Marcus.
So
It's
I
just
think they call
weird.
you Aunt Brianna or Aunt Cheeks,
No.
but it's just not intentional. It was just a.
It's just Cheeks.
Yeah, it was just like a weird.
Or it's like no one calls Justin Uncle Justin. He's just Justin.
And I
To me, at least, he is.
Right.
That's how it always was for
and I
me.
think it's just because he came in later in the game.
Yes. That's
When,
true.
because actually he would be our uncle.
Yeah.
And when he came in, we were all adults. So I think we don't call him Uncle Justin, so it didn't carry over to you guys to call him Uncle Justin. Same with Mary.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
kids call Mary Aunt Mary. But
I never call her Aunt Mary. I just call her
we have old Andy
Yeah, we got.
And now we have Big Jimmy and Baby Jimmy.
Yeah, we
That's my
we
kids call
got
him Big
people with
Jimmy.
same names.
Man, it keeps getting harder and harder to name your children around here.
Yeah,
There's too many.
there's
of
too
us.
many names. So in the first 2 episodes, we talked a lot about camping and tradition. And sticking with that topic, what were your guys' fondest memories of camping as kids or camping as adults? Because now, as adults,
do it.
we've all gone back to camping, and
I liked camping as a kid better.
That's-
It was way easier.
Okay,
Like
that's
camping as
fair.
an adult is
Camping and
Don't
having to
recommend
babysit
it.
at the same time
That's
seems
fair.
just
hectic.
a pain.
yeah.
Like sleepover.
Especially when
our
having
kids are the
food,
ones
like
sleeping
having
over.
to
We're just going home.
having to contribute dishes to pass is
Not
I
fun.
liked it better as a kid.
Not fun.
Now, let's see, say I was like a teenager, just out of high school maybe, we stopped camping for a short time because we were getting rained out so much. Now, like I said, my kids are some of the older generation of their generation. So once I started having kids, then I was like, I want to go camping because I loved those camping memories, and I want my kids to have them too. So that's when everyone started buying campers because they're like, if we're gonna go camping again, we're not sleeping on the ground anymore. So that's when everyone started buying campers, but truly, those were some of my fondest memories. Our water wars with Uncle Frank and David and Uncle Dave, and that was some of my favorite memories. And as an adult, it is different, obviously, but I still enjoy it.
Yeah, but you're past that hard part.
Right.
So
Yeah. But
you still have the little ones too. You have to bring all their bikes and all
Right.
their entertainment.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I mean,
Imagine grandma with 10 and we only have our own.
camping for me as a child, it was kind of. It was like you got let off the leash. You got to run.
Yeah, you just
Yeah.
got you.
Yeah,
The
Or
second,
just
the second you
Go.
got out of the
Some
truck, your
freedom,
feet were
yeah.
moving
Yeah.
faster than you were.
You're
You
going
were
to the
just gone.
trampoline
The
immediately.
trampoline, the lake, the woods.
Or setting fires.
All right, hey,
All right.
who did that?
I don't know who did that.
That's a
What are you
different
talking
episode.
about?
That's not at Uncle Dale's. We don't talk about that.
That never
Anyways.
happened.
So, out of either you four or all the cousins, who got in trouble the most?
Marcus.
I saw it coming.
I saw that one.
I should have seen that one coming.
I would say followed by right along with Andy.
Yeah.
The two of them together.
2 peas in a pod.
Can you remember a certain time that, like, he did something to you, or
Oh,
just
no.
like the
He tried
fact
to
of
drown
him?
me in my swimming pool once.
All right, that sounds about
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
I just remember them fighting, like physically fighting.
Yeah.
On the floor everywhere we
That-
went.
It lines
Like,
up because when I asked
wrestling.
Papa about who was the in most trouble
Troublemaker.
with
Out
the
of the
Big
10.
Ten, it was
Grandpappy.
Uncle Mark.
I can tell you, Marcus hit me in the eye with a wiffle ball, and I had to go to the ER. Oh yeah, then
With a bocce ball?
juggled bocce balls and gave
Yeah,
Steph
yeah.
a concussion because she got hit in the head with one.
Nice.
And they are my brothers. So I do have quite a few stories of Barbie heads being ripped
Oh, yeah.
off.
Well, please
Yeah,
do and
body
tell.
slammed on
Please
the counter.
go into more detail.
Yeah, we
I'd
need more
love to
detail.
hear it.
We need more detail.
That's
I feel like Andy slowed down a little bit after Uncle Howard broke his leg.
Uncle Howard broke his femur.
broke his femur.
Yeah, so if you wanted to ask what uncle the cousins were most afraid of.
Oh yes, yeah, that's a
Yes.
good question.
Yes.
So let's go down the line, starting with Cheeks. What uncle was the scariest, or who you didn't want to mess with? So she didn't get messed
She
with.
did no wrong.
She did
She
no
did no wrong.
No.
Every
Is this
picture
probably-
is being held or
This is probably more of a question for like Marcus and
Yeah.
Andy.
That's true.
Boys
That's
know.
also true.
I wasn't scared of Uncle Howard at all. I wasn't scared of any of the uncles. I was scared
That's fair.
I was scared of Uncle Howard until Hunter was born, and then it was like a different man.
Yeah, because
Then he was a grandpa. and
then
it
he
was
got
different.
soft. Then he
I
got
wouldn't say I was
soft.
afraid of him either.
Right.
But like,
No, I'm still afraid of
if
him.
anyone was gonna
I'm
get mad, it would be Uncle
Still
Howard,
terrified.
for sure.
Not me. I can't say I was afraid of any of my uncles or anything really. I mean, like, right. How?
Still.
Yeah. Well, Gavin did too. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, yeah, Howard's
Howard,
terrifying.
that a lot of them were afraid of is my dad, so I was not afraid of him because I'm of course daddy's girl, so it didn't matter to me. But
Wah.
I don't. I also don't recall being really afraid of. I mean, all my aunts and uncles disciplined us if we needed discipline.
You weren't
so it wasn't
afraid.
like,
You weren't afraid of Uncle,
afraid of him?
or like, did he bully you?
He tickled me till I peed my pants.
That's
Yeah,
all right.
Oh,
That's all I was looking for.
Right.
Your head in the
No.
toilet.
That's also good. I can't lie to you. That's pretty good.
Oh, this is getting deep.
I feel like you should be scared of Uncle more than anyone because you used to call. Oh no, it was Papa. You called him Howard, and he said he'd kick your ass if you called him Howard ever again.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, you better chill out. You're actually gonna get your ass
He
beat.
chased Gavin one time at camp for something. I don't remember what it
Try
was.
something stupid.
Probably.
I feel like
Father,
I
like
spent
son.
a lot of
Yeah.
time like spending the night at Annieland and Uncle Howard's. You know, especially as I got older, like my parents would do the band trips or the school trips and stuff. So I would spend like a week with Annieland and Uncle Howard or with your dad. But so you know, we always ate popcorn at night, and
Right.
I definitely didn't have that. But I
Yeah.
don't know. I think that the younger ones are a little bit more terrified of them.
I think. Speaking on, like you said, staying at relatives' house, the same thing. Like that's again, our aunts and uncles, I feel like are more like our secondary parents.
Yeah, for sure.
Because, like I said, my parents would go on trips or whatever. I spent a week at Uncle Mark and Aunt Sandy's house. There was a time I spent a week at Uncle Dale's house. There was a time I spent. I don't know if they were all week times, but they were consecutive days at Aunt Sue and Uncle Frank's. I think I stayed. My kids stayed with you. Well, Andy and I were on our honeymoon or whatever, or not our honeymoon. We were somewhere, but they stayed. Oh, Mexico for a wedding. My kids stayed at your guys' house. I mean, we just consider that. We consider ourselves lucky for
I moved
having
in with you when you were pregnant with.
Dylan.
It was Dylan, yeah, because we weren't sure because you were alone,
Right,
Yeah.
So we just, I mean, we consider ourselves lucky to have
Yeah.
all these extra people.
Growing up, I had each one of you for a summertime babysitter. I remember where it was. Steph was our summer babysitter. Jen definitely did a whole summer. I think Melissa did. I was with you guys all the time. So, but where they were coming to our house every day, and of course Marcus and Andy were getting into trouble, but I spent a lot of time swimming in the pool, washing vehicles.
Wait till we got them on.
Well, I mean,
At least one of them.
growing up, I was
It
at
was-
your house or you were at my house.
Exactly. And it was the same way. Why would you even do that? That was our cue card.
We don't need that.
I don't have any more questions.
we're
No, I'm
done.
just kidding.
We're
No, we're not done. Don't even. We're not at our time limit yet. So with the original 10 video, I brought up the asparagus farm and how they worked on it. Was that still a thing when you guys were growing up? Did you do any of that?
Maybe Stacey.
I vaguely remember it. I remember going out in the field, but I don't have much of a memory of it, so I was pretty
So
young.
you were young, yeah.
But I do recall getting in the vehicle, and I remember the bushel baskets or whatever you call them that they put them in. I remember going out there, but I don't recall much of it.
Yeah.
No memory of that. No, that was not a thing.
I do believe that Aunt Di, when she lived across the street from Grandma, still had some asparagus in her front yard, and that's all I remember, if I'm even remembering that correctly. But no, nothing else of.
Papa, can you? No.
Did you guys know that
It's all
asparagus
behind the
grows
house.
like
See,
Oh,
straight
it
and
was all
super
behind her
tall.
house.
She
Yeah.
just let it,
Okay.
I never knew that. Like it'll just keep growing up like a bamboo.
I didn't know that.
I don't
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
either.
I mean,
I've seen it before.
I don't
I've
think
never seen it
asparagus.
that grown where it was like super tall, but I did over the summer.
The only other thing I remember, and I'm not even sure if it's part of the asparagus story, I think it is, but Grandma and Grandpa had a bus in their
Yes.
yard.
Yep.
And I'm pretty sure they used that for picking asparagus. But I remember us older kids
We
of
just
my
played in it,
generation,
played
we
in
just
it.
played in it.
Mhm.
Yeah. It was like our playhouse.
Yeah.
it was like Ben's bus.
Yeah. Or like the
Only
f-
an
or
actual-
Yeah.
Actual bus.
or like the fire truck Papa had in the back of his
Yeah,
yard that
yeah,
we
that was
jumped
good.
off of. So the other thing we talked about with the original 10 was the fire hall or the fire company. Did you feel pressured or not pressured, but like you felt obligated that you had to join or in some way help at the fire hall, knowing that pretty much every member, like each of your parents, were a part of it?
I don't think we ever felt, at least personally, I never felt pressured. We grew up helping. I mean, we just always did all the events or whatever was going on. We were always there. So
Mhm.
it was just part of us. It wasn't like I felt like I had to do it or anything.
Yeah.
I think that goes with a deep pride that we all have too. Like it's something to say, my grandpa founded that.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that is something that is super instilled in us. We were raised proud of that from birth, and it's something that we've always just kind of wanted to do as well. I did take a break, like I wasn't around for a little while,
Mhm.
and then came back and joined the auxiliary, and it's not something that I participated in as much as I would like to. There are, I miss things, I don't do everything, but as much as I can, I think it's super important for my kids to see that and for my kids to know that their grandpa, their great
Was a
grandpa
founding
really,
member.
Yeah, and that's something that
Yeah.
I don't ever want to die out in a
Exactly,
family.
yeah.
So,
I was just gonna say, like, going to the fire hall always meant fun.
Yes.
Because we were always going together.
Mhm.
It wasn't a negative thing for us. It was, we're gonna go and we're gonna hang out with our family and our cousins and do all sorts of fun things. And I think that that's what we try to do for our own kids. Like Ellie passing out dinner rolls or Gabby or the girls.
Yeah.
And they just see us and they're like excited about it, which is fun because that's how we felt too. So.
Yep.
I do wish that they had a little bit more experience. I mean, we kind of lived there. Like, we
Right.
slept there.
Yeah.
Like,
We pushed each other on that metal rolling
Yeah.
car.
The
Like,
ashtray car.
right?
The ashtray car.
Ashtray car. We would get on that and we would like riding scooters and the
Yeah.
but we would like
Yeah,
run
I
around.
forgot about those things.
It
just
was
bring
the
our,
best
like, we
of
would
the
bring pajamas and
Yeah.
curl up in the coat closet or in the
Yep.
kitchen. Yeah. And definitely.
The
The
fire hall.
Yeah, we would in the kitchen or in the coat closet.
Oh, yeah,
we
we
would
were sleeping in
sleep
the
in
The coat
yeah,
closet.
that's
The coat
where we-
closet.
Yeah.
So, I have a question with like Julie and Stacey. You guys being tied to the fire company, and now your spouses becoming active members in the fire company. Like, what about?
So when I met Patrick, he was volunteer for Cooperstown Fire Company anyway. So that was kind of something that like he already had as a part. He was a junior at Cooperstown, so he already had that part of his life, and then we were just able to kind of come together on that. And when we moved back home, it was kind of it just an expectation. Like,
It's just there.
you're gonna continue.
Guess what?
I don't recall like ever, like telling Andy
Yeah.
that he had to do it or anything like that. I think it just became because I wasn't even in the auxiliary at that time either. But we still just always went and always did everything anyway. So why not? He saw my dad and my brother, who he was friends with, and all his other friends. And they get to go hang out on Tuesday nights and do whatever they want to do.
I mean,
Yeah.
Alex don't get to hang out no more.
We're not kidding anybody.
So, but for Andy, it worked out because it ended up helping his career along too. Because he's anything
there
that I
at the
ever said.
hall
You
and
have to be part
now
of
we're
this
active
because
members.
it's in my family. No, he just kind of did it on his own.
What was the question you wanted me to ask?
When great-grandpa-
Oh, how old were each of you when great grandpa died?
My
When
grandpa.
yes, when your grandpa died.
Our great-grandpa.
Our
I
great-grandpa.
remember because it was 1995, so it was after I graduated high school, so I was 18 years old.
I was in 7th grade, so I would have been 12-ish. Around 12, probably.
I was in 5th grade. I remember 5th grade.
I was in 1st grade.
I was -10. If you were wondering.
I'm pretty sure I went
Negative
to the
12.
high school. Like I said, I was already graduated, but I went to the high school and
Still
got
swimming.
like Jen and Jeff out of
It
school.
was Jeff's senior year. Yeah.
And
I was definitely in school.
Yeah.
And when I found out my dad came to
Right.
campus,
Yep.
I had already gotten on the bus, so I was already at school. It was horrible.
Yeah.
Mm.
Horrible.
Same.
I don't have memories.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
We I remember after his funeral.
That's probably one of my favorite memories.
Yeah.
And honestly, Charlotte, my second oldest daughter, third in my family, it's her all-time favorite movie still to this day, and it just gives me the warm and fuzzies every time we watch it. But after Grandpa's funeral, we all the cousins just kind of needed a break, and
Yeah.
I think our parents needed a break as well.
Yeah.
And we all went to the movies, and I don't even remember, we went somewhere that the theater was completely empty.
I think
It was Lockport. Yeah, Lockport,
Yeah. And we watched Now and Then, and just laughed on the way there, laughed on the way home, cried during the movie. It was just something, and that was one of the memories from us growing up that was the worst day probably, but
Yeah.
turned
into one of the
such
best.
bittersweet.
Well,
So what a sad way to end this.
Yeah.
session.
Well, we had a request from an original 10.
Oh, wait, we could talk about
Oh, yes.
our love for
Oh, yes, please. Go into how much I watched that movie as a child.
I think that comes
That's
from me
fine.
because I'm the oldest of all us girls that hung out together, and that was one of my favorite movies. So of course I got all of them into it. We have to dance and sing to it at like every wedding function, whatever there's a DJ at. And all the boys complain that they had to watch it.
And I still do.
They love it.
Yes.
She subjected her kids to it as well, along with Sweet Home Alabama and all these other rom-coms and Dirty Dancing. Never put baby in a corner. It's hydromatic.
Just leave out a couple words. We are educators over here.
Yeah, educators. Well, we're gonna wrap this up. That is all we have for this episode. Thanks for coming on. That's it. Hasta lasagna. I like that. That should be hasta lasagna. I've been trying to figure one out. Can't. It's not working. Hasn't come to me. Probably won't. But yeah, that's about it.